Hey, what's going on, y'all? Lincoln Infield here, Carolina's Full Throttle Magazine, and it is Wednesday, November 13th, and this is your weekend events update. Now, you might have noticed that it's dark outside. It is not my normal 1 o'clock time of slot. We're doing a whole new format here, a whole new idea, trying to take this thing to the next level. It's a big deal for us here in the Full Throttle studio to try to take this to the next level. And so what I did was I enlisted, if you're ever going to do something funky, you go ahead and enlist some of your friends to help you take that first step. So what we've got here is we've got the normal program. We're going to talk about the magazine. We're going to talk about this coming weekend's events. Don't worry, we've got you. We'll take care of that. But we've also got a special guest. Cam Zimmerman is on with us. Was it Kreepurr's Kustoms is his company name. He's building some awesome choppers and stuff like that. Some of you might have seen him out and about. If you haven't, you need to. But we will get to that here in just a second. First off, what we need to do is make sure that you've got the Carolina's Full Throttle Magazine November issue. This month, it is featuring Bulldog Harley Davidson in Smithfield, North Carolina. They are the fastest growing Harley Davidson dealership in the nation, and they can take care of all of your Harley Davidson needs, whether it's parts and accessories, motor clothes, service. Man, they've got it all going on. We just did a bike show down there at the end of October. Fantastic crew of people, great dealership. Make sure you check them out. Now, if you haven't already picked up the magazine, it's still November 13th, so we haven't even quite hit the middle of the month yet. There's probably plenty of magazines still out there. If you can't find a magazine, make sure you give us a holler. And we will point you into the right direction and make sure you get that going on. Now, the next thing we're going to do is talk about events. Now, if you have not already signed up for the events news blast, I think you need to. And that way you won't be missing out on any events. And like always, look at this here. Blake Allen, first through the door every single time. He must be out on the road, must be bored. It's 6 p.m. And it's not like he doesn't have something else to do. So I appreciate you going on there. But right there, that form, that link that's on Facebook and YouTube, make sure you fill that out, email and text, and we'll make sure to keep you up to date with the upcoming events and news and information in the motorcycle community in North and South Carolina. So without further delay, my special guest today, Cam Zimmerman, bring him on the show. How you doing today, Cam?
How we doing, bud?
It's good to see you, man.
Always good to be seen.
No, that's the deal, man. And like I mentioned before we brought him on, Kreepurr's Kustoms, man. That's the company name over here. And you've been building choppers for a little while now. How long have you been putting together bikes, man?
So putting together my riding career started in 2006. So right under 20 years now I've been riding.
Yeah.
Started off with a sport bike. Quickly moved on to taking it apart, putting it back together, fixing it, and bought a few Jap bikes, chopped them up, bobbed them out a little bit, and it's just spiraled out of control since then.
Yeah. Yeah, not surprising, man. Most chopped motorcycle in the world is still the CB 750, man. So, that's a good starting point for anybody, really.
I've had a few of them, and I did. My first one was I named it Bambi, and it was a fun one. I actually put a Gixxer front end on it, forks, and redid the wheels so it had the Super Sport wheels on it, but it had the inverted forks and everything on it, the upgraded brakes, and all that.
Right. Now, how do you come up with a name like Bambi for a motorcycle?
Huh?
How do you come up with a name like Bambi for a motorcycle?
It was Indian Larry's wife.
Ah, gotcha. All right.
That's probably one of my favorite builders. So that's where that name came from.
All right. Right on. So moving down, we've got Bamboo. We've got a couple things. Your latest build right behind you, that purple beast, is Luna, correct?
Yes, Luna Lenore.
All right. Good. Now, let's talk a little bit about that motorcycle. You did send us a selection of pictures, but what do we come up for? What are we building choppers? You just bring this thing up, make sure you come up with something new.
So this one is we built it out for a competition. I got the garage built off competition. That picture was when I first got the motor from over at Hollywood shop, bought the motor from him. I think it came out of a running riding bike.
Yeah.
Picked it up from him and obviously took all the chrome junk off of it. But we had to redo the seals on it, but is it good? Just the Evo, nothing special.
Yeah. Yeah, blonde even there.
Yeah.
But Hollywood's a good source, man. Always he's got something good in his shop. Every time I get over there, man, he takes me in the back, shows me something new.
Oh yeah, he's always got something fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Now the particular thing that I liked most about this bike that's it right behind you. Like I said, you can see that single-sided swing arm or lack thereof on this side, man. Beautiful bike. Now what just to do something different, but man, I'm telling you what, this is the frame you started off with.
So yeah, that is a frame. That's a 70s, I think, shovel frame. And it was in my buddy's attic for a few years. It was a little tweaked, which is why he didn't use it when he built his chopper years and years ago.
Yeah.
So I grabbed it, and all I used obviously was the motor mounts, the seat posts, and the neck.
Right.
Which not even a ton of the neck. It's mostly all gone.
Yeah. So then this is the dream. This is the mock-up picture here.
That's my Photoshop right there of what I was gonna do. Obviously, it's not a pan, sadly, but that was kind of the inspiration photo.
Right. Right. Yeah, because that's kind of the thing, man. Nobody does these things, I don't think, without some kind of inspiration, man. Now, was it just from your riding experience? Did you have something in your mind before you started, or what did you go?
I've always wanted a single-sided swing arm bike. Since I was riding the sport bike back in the day, and I figured that this was just a good time to try it. I've seen them on choppers before, but not like this. So I figured, let's try it and see what happens. And then, I just kind of piece it together like that photo there. Is the motor sitting in there. The Evo motor doesn't fit in the shovel frame, so I had to redo the backbone.
Yeah.
And it just spiraled out of control from there. Just had to cut more than I used.
Yeah, I was gonna say it really does, because if we go back here, this hardly resembles what you ended up with over here.
Yeah.
And that wasn't even the end of it, man, because I know you cut the backbone a little more, and here you are. Look at this extensive garage we've got here.
Yeah.
This is the Kreepurr Kustoms garage over here.
That's my workshop. I got the Harbor Freight drill press and the Chinese TIG welder that welded it all together and coped all the piping for it. So
if it works, it works. Let's see what we got next. Okay, yeah. Okay, so here's where I was getting at right there, because you went and cut that again. And this is even just mocked up, man. Is this just for fundamental making it fit, or was this a plan?
So originally that I had tubing laying around, so that was 1.5 inches. I didn't want to go up or out with the neck. I didn't want to rake it. I didn't want to change it. I wanted to use the stock neck and everything there to kind of make the front of it still look factory.
Yeah.
So I put in the one tube coming down, and it obviously was going to hit the head or the rocker box. So I just Z'd it up and back. I absolutely hated the way it looked to begin with.
You hated this Z look here.
I hated it. But I put it in there because it matches the backbone. The backbone matches the angle of the rocker box also now.
For sure.
So I put it in there. Long story short, I put it in there just to get an idea of what it would look like, or what I could do if I could change it somehow. And the further it got on, the less time I had, it stayed there.
Right.
because I couldn't figure out anything else to do with it.
Yeah. Okay. So we're still mocking up. You're still flying by the seat of your pants here, putting this thing together. Okay. All right. Looks like this was a step behind that one. Should have had this one up first. But you can definitely see all the damn cuts and everything like that you've done on this frame, man. It's a shell of its former self.
Oh yeah, and now there's no telling if this one was before the photo, before or after, because I had that motor in and out, frame apart. I'd say 50 times I took the motor in and out of this frame.
Nice.
Just to get everything cut, lined up, and see if it was going to work.
Oh, yeah, because we kind of hit on this before we came on there, but this is your first full build.
This is the first biggest build I've done. Yes. I've back half some things before. I've built my iron head. I built, and it's a full frame, but it's a Fly-Right Chopper's frame. So,
right, I got you.
I mean, that was kind of a catalog bike. Bought a frame, put it all together.
Right. So even while working on the frame, man, all the way down in the engine, huh? All the way apart there.
So the motor, when Hollywood pulled it out, I guess it had the rear cylinder. The jug was leaking. It just had a little bit of leak. So I figured while I had it out, we're going to pull it all apart, reseal it. My buddy Dwayne, who is an FXR guru, helped me out with that. He's got all the tools and everything over his shop, which I think there's a picture in there of that too.
That's possible.
But we resealed it. We put an EV27 cam in it just to give it a little bit of oomph. And put it all back together, and she runs top notch now.
Well, I believe it, man. You throw that cam in there like that, and then you stripped all the damn weight off of this thing, you know? So, yeah, I bet it does thump going down the road. All right. So then what we got here? What we're doing with the triple there?
So that's obviously the triple tree, the top clamp. And that is me in a hotel, probably somewhere halfway across the country, working on it because I didn't have I travel for work.
Right.
So I would be, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours away. I had to bring the parts with me, and Holiday Inn sponsored this build without knowing.
So whatever you could fit in your backpack for the ride, huh?
Yeah. So I put it in there. You can see the files on the table there. I was watching TV, filing it in a Holiday Inn room.
Well, it's probably not the worst thing that's ever happened in a Holiday Inn,
Well, probably not.
That's cool though. So what were you doing with the clamp here on this one?
Oh, I think I was just smoothing it out. I was smoothing out the casting lines.
Okay.
Because I kept the two bolt holes on the top there.
Right.
I think I was just smoothing out some of the casting lines on it, trying to make it a little bit more, pretty.
Yeah. All right. Custom. Now this I really dug in, and I followed along when you were building. You posted some things here. There was a couple different options for the handlebars.
So there was a few.
Yeah.
That's my CAD drawing right there. Yeah. Cardboard on demand.
That's right. Only the finest.
Huh?
Only the finest software here.
Absolutely. But yeah, I kind of wanted that shape, so I drew them out of cardboard, cut them out to see, how they would fit and how they would look and everything. And I was going to do that bottom 180. That didn't work out the way I wanted it to with some of the other parts and stuff. So that got scrapped, and it ended up cutting them and just coming down into the riser. So the risers bars are all built in one.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. Yep. No, that was cool. That was definitely because you put an early vote out there, and this was one of the ones I really thought was gonna look best on there. Really cool, but they were all great options, man. But this looked cool as all, man. I like that.
Yeah. No, it worked out best because where that bar is, I'm not not blocked out of my view and everything too.
Well, and it's like, like we mentioned earlier, it's just not catalog stuff, man. There's not another set of bars like this, man. It's cool. It really added that extra flair to a completely custom bike.
That's what I was trying for.
Nailed it. All right, what we got here? What are we looking at?
So this is a custom machined rear hub. Originally, all the guts inside of that are a Triumph triple speed for rear wheel and everything. I bought a swing arm. I cut it, took it over to my buddy Bill at Derange Concepts, and we kind of worked together, getting the design of it and everything. If we wanted to change anything, we made a few little minor changes to it, and then he machined it out of steel so I could weld to it for the single-sided hardtail frame and everything. And that thing fit perfect. I was able to weld to it, and it came out really nice, I think.
Nice. Yeah, I was gonna say, looked here earlier on the comments, and Blake Allen Blockhead's Custom Cycles was talking earlier Triumph parts and stuff like that. I'm like, oh man, he nailed it early,
Yep.
Right on. All right, let's see what else we got in here. Okay, so now, like I've mentioned it already, the single-sided swing arm. Now, this was, I don't know, it was beautiful. It's not something you see all the time. And then just to even have somebody build this in the garage like that, I thought you pulled it off. It looked great. You always wanted a single swing arm bike since you came off the sport bikes, right?
Yep. Yeah, so there's more of my CAD designs.
Yeah.
And it's all just, this is all mocked up. I have a frame jig that the front of the frame is on and everything, which I think we saw in earlier pictures. And then I kind of just, none of it was a catalog.
Right.
There's no catalog in the world. There's probably nobody else dumb enough in the world to build it like I did, much less produce parts for it like this. So this is all 100% scratch made, built by me in this garage.
Which is an amazing feat on its own, man, but very, very cool to do it like this. And I thought it was really cool. If anybody else was following along in the process, the rear end of this motorcycle was completely hidden in every picture. Like nobody saw the rear end of this picture until the whole bike was unveiled as a finished product. Cam wasn't giving away no secrets.
Yeah, I figured I'd hide it and build up the suspense a little bit.
Well, it was that, and it was funny because I didn't notice it. It just always kind of seemed like a shop picture, and your shop's a lot like other places I'm at where there's just stuff, man. There's stuff I was like, I didn't know if it was like the angle of the picture or what until about a few pictures in, you're going like, I hadn't seen that rear end the whole time,
Yep. A few of the other builders didn't like that too much. They called me out on it. They hated me for it, but respected it and liked it also.
I don't get it, man. I don't get it. There's no reason to hate that. I thought it was clever and good. Once I figured out what was going on, hell of a clearance there on the tire fender there.
So that's a lead sled fender, and the tire that's on that now or there in that picture was a 150/60. Which is a little bit taller. And I literally put that on there for the show because it made the fender to tire clearance perfect. It fit better. Now I downsized it. The tire that's on here now is a little bit smaller. Well, it's a 55, just a little shorter. So now it's a little more rideable. And it doesn't hit the fender when it rides.
Well, last time I saw that bike that evening, man, that tire was a little gummed up underneath that.
Yeah,
all right.
Smoked the paint on that fender that night.
These things happen. All right, so back to engine work on this, huh?
So there's where we're over at Dwight's, or Dwayne's building or shop, and we're redoing all the gaskets. We redid it we didn't split the cases or anything, but pretty much everything else got all brand new gaskets, honed the cylinders, new rings, just a freshen up, a rebuild, and then we put the cam in it there also.
Right on. Well, there's no reason to go all the way through this build like this without having an engine that you're at least confident in and built up. Because this wasn't. Well, it is a for show motorcycle, but this is a rider, man. So make sure that's up to snuff. All right.
There's my not sure what you want to call it. Coping tool, drill press. Luckily, it didn't spin out and kill somebody.
Yeah. It's
But
all
it worked.
one.
I had the hole saw. I couldn't get the angle that I needed on my what's the tool called?
Mm-hmm.
It'll come to me in a few minutes.
Yeah. 2 minutes after we're done with this section.
Yeah.
What are you building right there?
Get the proper angle, so I pretty much tacked the whole section together and clamped it to the drill press, and I did it that way.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Found a way around. I like it. All right, now this tank. Now this was something because you took a tank, cut it apart, made it the size that you wanted it. Did you take it in or take it out?
So that started as a stock Sportster tank with it was an aftermarket Sportster tank, but it had the inlays in the outside skirts of it, or the outside panels. And I cut it down the middle. I spread it out probably 2.5 to 3 inches on each side to kind of just give it like a nice diamond shape. Excuse me. And then that is the first time I've ever done metal work like that before.
No shit.
I bought a beanbag off of Amazon and a few hammers and started going to town on it. And then a buddy down the street from me has an English wheel, so I took it over there. We smoothed them out in the English wheel and tacked it up. I had to do the 2 side panels, and then the front panel was all 100% made, and then just a little back panel there, just a filler.
Yeah, no, I dig it, man, because you can see the separations on the side, man, where that's completely custom there, man. Got it, took it apart, made it your own. I love it, man. And then even it being like the first time you've done anything like that, man, came out solid.
Thank you.
All right, so now we're back on the down lift here.
So yeah, that looks like it was when after the frame was probably all welded, or mostly welded, and sissy bars on it there. Yeah, it looks like I don't know what I was doing in that picture on it.
Admiring, man. Sitting back and admiring. All right. So now, is this the brake pedal we're looking at?
That's the brake pedal. Yep, that's before and after.
I've never seen that one in the catalog.
No. I was looking for it and I couldn't find it. So yeah, that got made, and the lines are a little crooked. They're not perfect, but you
can't tell when you're jamming down on the damn thing,
Nope.
All right. And then look at this now. We're all powder coated and all that, aren't we?
No, so that's bare metal right there still. And that picture was probably me just taking it because there is 0 Bondo in the frame of this motorcycle.
Oh, nice.
And it is all 100% metal worked, hand filed by, me. I've had a few buddies that come over and help. Actually, a buddy that helped a lot. My buddy Adam helped a lot with the sanding and everything. But there's 0 Bondo in the frame of the bike. Now the tank, that's a little different story. There's a little Bondo in that one.
That's impressive though, man. That's impressive. I like it.
But yeah, that and then like all the wires are run through the frame on it. So you can't see anything until they're, poked out for going to the carb or going to the ignition, this and that.
Right. Well, there we go. Now we're all painted up.
There's paint, Parvo purple. My buddy Jesse, this is at his shop, his garage right down the street from me. He helped me spray it, which I think I did the primer and the black on it, and then he did the color because I didn't want to mess that up.
Well, I mean, but you got to have a solid primer on there, or else the color won't go on right.
Yeah. But yeah, we knocked that out. I think in a few weeks or a week or two time.
So we've completely accepted the Z backbone.
Yeah.
Yeah. How'd you come up with that purple color, man? Was that just was that in the plans all along?
Purple's my favorite color. It's my mother's favorite color, and my best friend's grandmother that passed was her favorite color. And that's actually where Luna Lenore, the name, came from also. Rams. But yeah, purple's it's the best color. So okay. I wanted a purple chopper, so I painted it purple.
There you go. I got no qualms about that. That was Dad's favorite color too, and he had a purple Road King, and it was always funny. Everywhere we went, Mom had a black Road King with flames, and he had a purple one, and everybody got them mixed up. But you know, he defended it was the color of his first Triumph as well, man. Very cool color, unique color, even, man. It looked good, stands out.
Yeah.
Right on. All right, so then, you know, obviously a lot missing from the work of putting this all back together, but here is a beautiful final shot on this thing. Just even taking in that tank, man, just an amazing amount of work.
Yeah, that tank was. I don't know if I'll do a tank like that again for a while, but yeah, I put a lot of work into it. That's probably the majority of the time on this was in getting that tank close enough to where we could skim it with Bondo and paint it, and it looked good.
Nice. Speaking of time, what is the time, the build time on this bike?
The build time was when we got accepted into the top 12 was the end of January, I think, and then till the end of August.
All right.
So 6-7 months. Well, no, 8 months.
Yeah. That maths.
Ish.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying, like, for your first complete, you know, frame up build. Hey, man, that's kicking ass in 8 months.
We got a lot done, and you know, I had a bunch of help with some of the buddies. You know, Zach Shipwash, the Rebel Spirit. He came down, helped me tweak the frame, weld it. My buddy Adam came over a dozen weekends, helped me sand the frame. Ton of help with little things on it here and there to get it finished.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely came together. The community came together for some of it.
Yep. Nope. I dig it. And I'm not, you know, you got to kind of zoom in if you're looking at this on the computer screen or the TV screen. Hopefully you guys are watching this while you're eating dinner with the family. But the exhaust poking out by the rear tire, man, so totally cool. There's some twisted metal foot pegs in there, man. There's a lot of really cool features on this motorcycle.
And there's maybe 3 of them came out of a catalog.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you sanded this whole thing though, right?
Yeah. I wired it, so I'm claiming it as mine.
Yeah, no. Well, I'm telling you, man, it's an absolutely beautiful bike, and I like the purple came out just right. Looks great. You know, the single sided swing arm. It's just one of those bikes, man, that it stands out in every crowd. And now you built it, you rode it, and you won a chopper competition at the Dying Breed Stampede. Is that correct?
Yes, Dying Breed Stampede. It's a local show down in Lancaster. It's an upcoming show. It's going to be good. Check it out next year for everybody listening. It's going to be a good one. And yeah, won first place best chopper. It's the only trophy that he did for the show, and I took it home.
Well, rightfully so. As far as in the chopper category for judging choppers, man, you take this thing and go. You know, you took it from the ground up, built a beautiful bike, man. It's totally chopper.
Thank you. It's beyond bolt on.
Yeah. Now the seat, man, we didn't touch the seat there. How'd that come into fruition there?
So the seat, my buddy Jesse, who did the paint and everything with me on it, him and his buddy Billy and his wife Ann. I think I was at the beach on family vacation the week before the smoke out. I dropped them off the seat pan. I said, because I just needed something. I think they did that at like 3:00 in the morning on the kitchen table.
The way it should be done.
Yeah, it came out and it's still on there today. I'll probably redo it here soon, add a little bit more padding so I can ride it for a little bit longer before it kills the back.
Yeah. So that was the thing. Now, like I said earlier, not only a show bike but a rider. Man, I've seen plenty of pictures of you taking this thing out, local bike nights, stuff like that. Tell us how it rides, man.
Dude, honestly, this thing rides perfect. Excuse me. It doesn't stop the best. I've got to upgrade the brake. Because there's no front brake and it's a sport brake rear brake. So I'm upgrading those. That's why it's on the lift now. I'm going to do that. But it rides perfect. I mean, I run the rear tire a little low, so I have a little suspension. And yeah, I mean, I couldn't be happier with the ride quality of this bike, especially being there's no adjustment side to side, or I can tighten the chain and that's the only adjustment on the rear. It rides good. It rides straight, 80 miles an hour down the highway. It's straight as an arrow. Yeah.
Well, shit, man, you nailed it then, man. First time off the block there, and then put it all away. Now, this is here's another shot from the rear for anybody just trying to take in that single-sided swing arm, man. That's just now. Where is this? This is a bike night somewhere down there.
This is Outsiders. This was the first ride that I took further than down to the school down the street to turn around. This was I think this was actually the Wednesday night before the smoke out was the first ride of it. And we rode about 5 miles down the street to a local bike night at Outsiders Tavern, and she did great. She made it there and back.
Yeah, no, obviously so, man. And like I said, I dig it all the way through, man. Like the everything hidden in the handlebars, the how as tight as the tire gets to the fender, man. It looks killer all the way. And speaking of which, look, we've got this as well, and your lovely wife was just on here commenting about how sexy the bike was, and you too. But
yeah,
she seems like she was a trooper the whole time too. How much did she help you out in there with that?
She helped me out more than she knows, especially with not killing me for doing this, taking it on and being out in the garage till 4:00 in the morning, sometimes working on it. But she actually helped me wire it. She helped me fish the wires through the frame and everything. She even mounted the headlight. So not to, bring it up, but it's also broken right now.
Comes from other things, faulty things, whatever. That's cool. Certainly a very cool power biker couple, man. I always love running into you guys at events and getting to hang out with you guys. So very cool picture. Poopwood also says that your clutch setup is cool.
So the clutch setup is a EFM auto clutch. So there's no foot clutch, no hand clutch. Jam it into gear and you go.
Nice.
That needs a little bit of fine tuning because it's a little sketch when you shift.
Yeah.
But
yeah, well, I was gonna say that was my next question. Was like, well, how does that thing perform, man? I know you're not probably not as gentle as some people are on motorcycles, man. You're jamming down the road. How's it perform?
It honestly, like, other than the clutch, just I've got to fine tune it, and I just can't figure it out yet. But once I get that tuned, it'll be good. And with the cam and the Evo and the no weight to it, the thing hauls. It hauls ass.
Right on. I love it, man. Well, like I said, go ahead.
I say it's a runner.
Right. Right, man. Well, we saw it in the pit that night, man. It definitely will wear a tire out. That's for damn sure. Well, that's cool, man. Well, I just absolutely loved the build as soon as we saw it, man, and been waiting for a chance to get you in the studio to talk a little bit about it, man. It's just one of those bikes you've got to sit back and appreciate. And now it also is gonna be one of the featured bikes. It's an invited bike for the Full Throttle Bike Show in Greensboro. So anybody who's looking at this thing in the pictures, you got to see it in person. It will be set up at the Greensboro Coliseum for that show, and that's February 2nd. I appreciate you guys being first. Yeah. First. It's bad when you get your own damn, like I'm talking about it. It's my event. He's like, yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm wrong. My event is on the 1st. I appreciate you being available to bring that thing to that, because that's it's just one of those bikes I know everybody's going to want to crowd around and look at, and shit, I'm going to do the same thing.
No, I'm excited for that show. That's it's one of the reasons I built the bike.
Right on.
That'll be
right on. Well, what about future plans, man? You knocked this one out. It's been 2 or 3 months. You're ready to build another one, right?
I'm gonna help some buddies finish their bikes, do some stuff on them, modify them a little bit, change a few things here and there. But I'm not going to do another full build for a little bit. I'm gonna finish some other projects. I got to redo the bathroom inside, retile the shower. I'm going to take the iron head, put it back on the lift. It needs paint. I need to rebuild the motor on it. So nothing that big anytime soon.
Yeah. Yeah, I love how you threw the bathroom in there. Got the thumbs up from the wife, so yeah. Very good. It's a good play. It's a good play. Yes, but and Stephanie says seeing this bike several times, you notice something new every time. Something badass pops out every time. Couldn't agree more. Like I said, just even watching it come together was something. Then seeing it all together, fantastic build, man. I appreciate you spending the time and doing that, because honestly, you did it for us in the end, man. You did it for us so we could all appreciate the thing. But it's a killer bike, man. I love seeing it out there.
I appreciate you taking the time out and having me on and everything. And
absolutely.
We'll see in February.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, Cam Zimmerman, Kreepurr Kustoms, man, I appreciate you being on with us. We're going to get into some events, man. So I'm going to kick you off of here. But if you're looking for something to do, we're going to go over the events here in a couple minutes.
I'll be there.
All right, man. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, bud.
Later, buddy. All right, man. What a deal. Let's see. That's just a big deal for us here. Like I said, new format this Wednesday. Been waiting for a chance to get Cam on here. That bike is really, really something special. I've seen it a few times, and every time, like Stephanie said, man, it's something new pops out at you. Now, like we normally do on this event, man, we have to get back to the purpose. Now that's funny. It's one of those things we do this. That was for me, man. I enjoyed the crap out of that, seeing Cam and talking about that motorcycle. But let's talk about some events now. If you have not already signed up to get the email blast, to get the text blast, I'm going to put this back in the comments box, whether you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube. Make sure you click that link there and sign up to get your email or text events for the weekend. Now, that's the last minute reminders, what you really should be doing. See if I've got a recent magazine here. I got all kinds of magazines here. It's just like messing up your own damn event date. I don't have one on my desk, but make sure you get out there. Oh shit, click the wrong. There we go. Get out there and pick up this month's magazine. It's got all the information in it. It's got pages and pages of the actual cruising calendar, which my internet's slowing down. Which that's how you plan your month out. That's how you do the extended planning. This stuff is for last minute stuff to make sure that you don't miss anything, and it's going to look a little bit like this. So we've got this going on. This weekend is November 16th is a Saturday. And we've got all kinds of stuff. Now, all of our event stuff, whether it's in the magazine, whether it's the email blast, whether it's on the online calendar, is all sponsored by our friends at the Carolina Biker Lawyers. Bob and Sean have been supporting Carolina's Full Throttle magazine for as long as I can remember, and we appreciate their support. Let's get down to events for this weekend. Now, Saturday, November 16th, let's get to it. His Laboring Few is having a leather sale. It is that time of year, guys. You might have pulled out your leather jacket like I did, and somehow this thing shrunk over the summertime, and I can't quite get it zipped like it should. So his Laboring Few is having a leather sale this weekend, November 16th, at the old Preacher Steve's Leather location in Thomasville, North Carolina. It's 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Cash or Cash App only, but they do have free hot dogs. So totally reeled me in on that one. There's also a benefit for Zakira that's going to be in Archdale. High Point. It's on Archdale Road, the VFW Post 9899. Kickstands will be up at 11:30 for that event. And the proceeds go towards Zakira's treatment. And she's fighting a rare cancer. Terrible thing for any kid to have to go through. So it's one of those things. This is what the biker community does, man. We get together and help out our own. As you can see on there, there's a lot of cool local sponsors on there. JR's Corner Tavern right down the road from me right here. The Old Watering Hole, Bowlies, all kinds of good stuff, man. Make sure you check this out. That's going to be a fun event and a helpful one. Speaking of fun, how can you not have fun when you're talking about tits and tacos? Blue Collar Cycle Company in Salisbury, North Carolina, always putting on great events. I just did their chili cook-off. You can read about that in the upcoming issue. Have a lot of fun with that. You got one word of advice. Always check to see what's in your chili when you're eating with Little Willie. But Tits and Tacos Bike Day at Blue Collar Cycle Company is this Saturday, November 16th. In Salisbury, it's 12 to 4 p.m. Live music, taco truck, adult beverages, and it benefits Breast Cancer Awareness Fund. Man, tell you what, make sure you get out there and check them out. While you're there, man, you might pick up a new motorcycle. I saw a deal that they're putting on right now that they're giving away little dirt bikes and stuff like that. Buy a bike, get a dirt bike kind of stuff. Make sure you check out their website for that. I might be completely wrong on it. Benefit ride for Jimmy Brown is going to be out of the Old Watering Hole on November 16th, which happens to be Saturday. That's going to be in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Registration's at 10 a.m. Kickstands at up 11 a.m. Proceeds go to Jimmy, who's in remissions from throat cancer. We all know, man, that can take a toll on your life and your finances, man. It's really cool to get around and help this rider out. Another one, man, going to a lot of great local bars. Old Watering Hole, Double D's, the Brown Compound apparently is where he lives, and that's where it's going to end. Very, very cool. They're going to have some chili and chicken stew. Go ahead and get out there and check that one out. Speaking of chicken stew, Biker Trash Nation's Chicken Stew Cook-Off is this weekend at Pine Tree Tavern in Winston-Salem. That is going to be 1 to 5 p.m. It's $5 a bowl, $1 tasting cups. Judging will be at 3 p.m. And there's prizes for winners. Let's see. It benefits the Western North Carolina families in need, which is going to be something that's going ongoing for quite a while. Really nice of BTN and Pine Tree Tavern to jump in and keep this continual support going on and feeding us at the same time. Now, I know you can enter your chicken stew into this. Make sure you check out Biker Trash Nation or Pine Tree Tavern to make sure to get the details on that. There's a phone number on that as well. Hopefully that's Wayne's. If that's Wayne's phone number, man, make sure you call him way after midnight. He loves that kind of stuff. There's also a barbecue fundraiser going on at Full Throttle Biker Church in Pleasant Garden, North Carolina, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. $12 plates include barbecue, green beans, slaw, bread, and tea. Let me tell you something. About the fall. I don't like being cold. I am a warm weather guy. I was born in July. This is what I like, man. I don't like being cold. And it's not cold yet. Don't get me wrong. We live in North Carolina. It gets cold like 3 days in March. It's weird. But if there's anything about the cooler riding season. It's the food, man. I love the food. We're talking about chicken stews. We're talking about chilies. We're talking about barbecue fundraisers. We've also got a food drive for charity at Down Home Harley Davidson. Now, you don't get to eat at this one. They're collecting the food. But, that's a good thing as well at Down Home Harley Davidson in Burlington, North Carolina. They're also having an event in Reidsville, North Carolina, fired up for Sawyer Bike, Car, and Truck Show. Getting the trifecta there. That's going to be started at 8 a.m. Let me tell you, folks, 8 a.m. is early for Harley Davidson folk on a Saturday, man. That's rough on a man. $20 to show your bike. There's going to be vendors, raffles, trophies. Sawyer is 5 years old and has been diagnosed with leukemia. Terrible stuff, man. If you're in the area and you're so compelled, please go out there and check that out and give Sawyer a hand. 5 years old, y'all. Back to food, y'all. Crossroads Harley Davidson is having a wing cook-off in Wilkesboro, North Carolina. Now, they asked me a long time ago if I'd go to this, and I had to oblige. They're like, hey, will you come to my wing cook-off? Yes, I will. So make sure you come by and check me out over here at Crossroads Harley Davidson, Wilkesboro, North Carolina. Their wing cook-off will be noon. Will start at noon. It's going to be noon to 4 p.m. There's going to be food, drinks, DJ, adult beverages, games, and a 50-50 $10 donation to test for People's Choice. And there's going to be a couple categories, including best overall, People's Choice, and spiciest. Baby, they better be spicy. I'm going to go up there and eat some damn wings, man. Beautiful country up there, too. So stop by and see some friends, eat some wings, check out some motorcycles. Sounds like a good day to me. Fort Bragg Harley Davidson in Fayetteville, North Carolina is having their Wreaths Across America event. It includes a free cookout. And if you look at their ad in each and every month of the Carolinas Full Throttle magazine, they got something going on every single weekend. Look at that. We got the 2nd, the 9th, the 16th, the 23rd, the 29th, the 30th. They got it going on at Fort Bragg Harley Davidson. Make sure you stop by and check them out. In the vein of dealerships, Bulldog Harley Davidson, which is sponsored on our front cover this month, is hosting the 2nd annual Help Thy Neighbor, Joco County. It's actually Joco, because it's county. All right, motorcycle toy run. That's going to be out of Bulldog Harley Davidson, Smithfield, North Carolina. Registration is 10 a.m. for that ride. Kickstands up at 11:30. Do yourself a favor and bring an unwrapped new toy worth $20 or a monetary donation. They're going to have live music, 50-50 raffle, and food. Going to be a good time. A couple phone numbers. If you got any questions on that, make sure to give them a call. But it's going to be a good time down in Smithfield. The 15th annual Wingman MC Toys for Tots Run is going on this weekend as well. Starting out of Tailgaters Bar and Grill in Ridgeland, South Carolina. The registration is 12 p.m. for that one. Kickstands up at 1:30. Again, bring a new unwrapped toy, minimum of $20 per person, and there's a party after the ride. Now, here's one I'm also interested in, and unfortunately already tied up at an eating event. But there's this UA Performance bike show going on at Holiday Brewing. Now we've got motorcycles and brewing. That's what I'm talking about in Spartanburg, South Carolina, way down there by where Steph hangs out at Spartan Motorcycle in Spartanburg, South Carolina. But this is Holiday Brewing in Spartanburg, South Carolina. This is a cool one. My buddy Jay with the Law Tigers is helping them out with that one. Very cool stuff, man. Make sure you check it out. They've got some cool classes, stock vintage bagger. And they got a couple different bagger classes because that's the way you have to do that stuff for now. And they got choppers, soft tail, best paint, best in show. Very, very cool, man. Gonna be a good show. Also sponsored by High Voltage Harley Davidson. So make sure you check those out as well. And like I said, now look, man, this is just the weekend's events update. So if you're looking to plan for a little bit further than that, make sure you click right there and you'll go to the cruising calendar, or you can just go to fullthrottlemagazine.com and it's going to look a lot like this. And you'll click on that there cruising calendar button. And looky there, there is months worth of events. If you're looking for something to do, you don't got to look around everywhere. We've already done all the hard work. We got events all the way through April of next year, 2025, and there it is in print. I'm clicking on all kinds of stuff. But that is, let's see, back to this. All right. So that's what we've got to go. Now, since I messed it up earlier, I need to make sure to clarify a little bit here. The Carolinas third annual Full Throttle Magazine Custom Bike Show will be on February 1st, 2025. Thanks, Cam, for catching that for me. This is our big bike show, man. We do a couple during the year bike shows, that is, all leading up to this, and we get invited bikers from all these different bike shows and put it together. We got 25 bike show classes. We'll be giving away $12,000 in cash prizes, $400 per class, and 2 $1,000 best in shows. I know what you're thinking. How can you have 2 best in shows? Easy. We've got a modern and an antique best in show. So if you've got an old bike, man, bring it out there. That's what I want to see. We've got modern motorcycles. They can win too. Very cool stuff, man. It's going to be a full day at the Greensboro Coliseum on February 1st. It's going to be 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. We're going to have Dave and Jody Perowitz from Perowitz Cycle Fab coming in to do a Perowitz paint show. The much coveted Best Paint and Perowitz Choice Custom Painted Awards will be handed out. Jody and Dave do these events in Sturgis. They do them in Daytona. They do them in Laconia. Now they're going to be doing it in Greensboro for you. If you got a cool paint job on your bike, man, you're going to want to put it in this bike show. Have them look it over, man. What an award to get from national, worldwide known painters. It's going to be a big deal. We're going to have live music by them, Rockabilly Band, and Matt Walsh and the Movers. Live pinstriping by another world-renowned painter, Universal Customs Pinstriping. Ray Spencer lives in Mount Airy, North Carolina, and gets hired to go around to all the big events by Harley-Davidson to do work, man. Just does a great job. Tattoos While You Wait by Ink Lab Tattoo. If you're looking to get some tattoo while you're hanging out at the bike show, you can do that as well. And my good buddy Derek Sykes will have his In the Weeds Chopper Photography Gallery set up as well. Very, very cool. This is the indoor East Coast bike show, and we couldn't do it without our presenting sponsor, Carolina Biker Lawyers, and our sponsors, the Law Tigers, Indian Motorcycle Greensboro Triad, OK Recycling, Riding High Harley Davidson, and Encore Motorcycle Insurance. It's going to be a great day, guys. Like I said, to come out and hang out with us. We're going to have, every year we've had at least 175 custom bikes. I'm looking for 200 this year. And we're already 3/4 of the way through the vendors booths. I've got about 29 vendor booths left. All motorcycle industry vendors. You're not going to see Tupperware or anything like that there. So make sure you put this on your stuff. Look at there. That's right. South Carolina representing, man. Jay, like I said, man, it's my dude right there. Law Tigers. Speaking of which, this month's, actually it's from September. I just got around to doing the videos. This month's feature bike, Devin Eckert's 1997 Buell X1 Lightning. The video is brought to you by our friends at Law Tigers. So make sure, sit down for a second, take a break. I'm going to take a break from talking and check out this here video.
This is the Board Track Racer. It's something I've always wanted to build since I started building motorcycles. I've always had this fascination with the Harley Board Track, the vintage Board Track Racers, and I always wanted to build my interpretation of one because bikes just don't resemble how they started. They don't have that same look anymore, and it's such a shocking look by comparison. So I had been squandering away parts for years, split tanks, a Buell X1 Lightning engine, an old Sportster frame, headlights and seats and just little pieces. And I finally got to the point where I was like, I think I have everything. Let's pull the trigger and build this fanatical, just board track racer, just a big bike and have a good time with it, and just build something that you don't see all the time. We did dual 26-inch wheels. I just wanted that board tracker look just initially straight off the bat. So, and then we did a Fab Kevin front brake conversion where I could run a sport bike front brake just to give me a nicer stopping power, a little bit of a cleaner look. I wanted like a vintage style headlight kind of hung out the front. And then I did an Iron Moto 4-inch under Springer front end. Also included with a set of just slight pullback bars. I really wanted just that race bike look, and I actually narrowed them 4 inches. Makes it a little bit harder to ride, but I wanted that real narrow bike look. Also, when I built it, I wanted to keep absolutely everything under the handlebars. So handlebars, I really wanted to be the highest point on the entire bike, but I mounted them as low as I possibly could. So I always like non-traditional tanks on my bikes, and this is actually a vintage Harley-Davidson Aramachi tank out of Italy. I got in touch with another guy who could split it for me at the time. This was not done by me. I wish I could claim it, but I did have it split, did the gas, oil, just for that vintage feel on the way bikes went. And it actually has, the oil filter's actually in the top. We did the visual gauges. I liked the look of the exterior clamps. Instead of hiding everything, I kind of wanted you to see all the work that was put in it. And then I ran the AN fitting lines instead of just rubber hoses or what you see on a lot of bikes, like a copper line or anything. I really didn't want to get into, I just wanted more non-traditional stuff, but kind of keep with a race theme as we went along. And to tie in with the race theme, I did have a 1999 Buell X1 Lightning engine that I had gotten from a damaged motorcycle. So we rebuilt the engine and then just kind of cleaned it up and cut off the excess kind of Sportster look parts, with cutting the cam cover all the way down, exposing everything, leaving the chain cover off. And then I swapped from a CV carb. This was a fuel injected bike originally, but now we switched it to a carbureted with a HSR 42 flat slide Mikuni carb, which tucks in real deep into the engine so it's not sticking out. Then I custom made a velocity stack that was tucked in tight with the motor. Like I said, I wanted the bike as narrow as I could get it from front to back. Then moving into the pipes, I always wanted them to come out from under the seat and not go down and under the bike, even though I had plenty of room. So in that way, when I made them, I could custom turn them and keep them as close to the bike as we ran down the frame and against the engine, and then turn them in exactly where I wanted to and come out under the seat. It actually gives it quite an interesting sound. When you're riding it, because when you're riding near something, you can only hear one pipe coming off the, echoing off a wall or something until you have something on both sides of you. It actually sounds kind of funny when you're riding it, so it's not your typical bike sound if you're riding around me. And then with all this, I also narrowed the foot pegs in. I took the foot brake out, put it in the lathe, cut it down, brought the foot pegs in even further. And then we, on this side of the bike, we did a foot clutch, a jockey shift down in the back just to keep the handlebars as clean as we could, only keeping the brake on it with the internal throttle. I just wanted as little on top as possible. Moving to the back of the bike, I had, this is a custom seat, leather tooled seat I had with the early shop logo put on it. From Fate Customs. I had this seat made almost 10 years ago. It was on another bike, and I always wanted to keep using it, so I kind of had this one set aside for it. Set the bike up on a dual airbag system under the seat just to make the ride a little more comfortable. It actually rides extremely well. And then coming back, putting a 26 on the back of the bike, the swing arms on a Sportster aren't long enough, so I actually had to get 2 swing arms, extend it almost 5 inches, and then just to fit the wheel inside of it, and then relocating the shock mounts and then running heavy-duty progressive shocks due to the length of the swing arms so that everything would ride and not bottom out harshly. After we extended it back, I wanted to run a Sproder conversion on the back so I could keep rear brakes And to do that on a swing arm bike, you actually have to notch out the swing arm and then plate it so the brake is actually fit inside of the swing arm. And the swing arm's actually solid about 3/4 of the way down. It's not hollow. And that just for the strength that you need in it. And that way I get front and rear brakes, and I get to keep everything that I want kind of on a stock bike so I can ride it and feel comfortable on it. Plus I keep it looks good. And then to break up the look, I always like to run an anodized contrast color. This one's the gold anodized, to include some handmade parts on the back of the swing arm that are also gold anodized. The swing arm adjustment and the axle plate come from Hughes Hand Built. They're a great piece. They keep the swing arm from crushing or getting collapsed when you tighten everything down, which is a really common problem with Sportsters of that time, until they finally have adjusted it, changed up the pieces. But that keeps it all from happening. Plus it just kind of adds to the race look and the pieces, and supporting a bunch of local shops. Hey guys, thanks for letting me talk about my bike. Again, I'm Devin with Whiskey Tango Choppers, and make sure you guys come down to the Full Throttle Bike Show in January and see it in person for yourself. Thank you.
Very, very cool. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but not only did I mess up the date of my own event, so did Devin on that video. Again, that is February 1st for that show date. If you do have a motorcycle you want to put in there, we still have some spots left for that, or vendor spots as well. But yeah, the bike show is February 1st, 2025. All right, so that is it, guys. That is all I can get out of this, man. I appreciate you tuning in for our dinner time motorcycle digest today. New format today. Again, big thank you to Cam Zimmerman. Just say first Saturday of February. But see, that can be confusing. But I appreciate the input, but that's the deal, guys. That is all I've got for you here today. That is 1 hour of your life that you've completely wasted. I do appreciate you spending it with me. Big thanks to Cam Zimmerman for coming on and telling us about his beautiful chopper, ground up build, Luna Lenore. And then thanks to everybody for checking out that last video. And that's a big deal. Hey man, where else on Wednesday at 6 p.m. do you get to check out two fresh builds? Nowhere. The Carolinas Full Throttle Magazine. We're here for you, baby. That's it. An hour of your life that you completely wasted. I do appreciate you spending it with me. We'll see you out here on the road. See you at Wilkesboro at Crossroads Harley Davidson this weekend. If you got an event you want us to talk about on here, make sure you send it to us. We'll get it on here. Take it easy.